All right, right behind me is the new trailer for the Territory Battles Geonosis, and I gotta tell you, there's a couple things in this that really got my attention and made me pretty excited about this. First thing coming up right here is a screenshot of all separatists with what? Who's this guy back here? Is that Jango Fett? A lot of speculation going around. Maybe Jango Fett will get a separatist tag. I actually don't think that'll happen, but that would be interesting, right? If Jango Fett got a separatist tag, might make things a little more fun. What do you think? Especially with Wat Tambor. Okay, very cool. Also, there's a lot of talk about clone rework. Yeah, we did get Shakti. Oh, there's the Acklay. I can't wait to do that. That should be fun. I kind of want to see how that plays out with the two. But look at this right here. Cody, new animation. I mean, this pretty much confirms that a full, proper clone work is imminent because, with the introduction of Shakti, it was still like very lackluster. I mean, but clones could be over the top good now. Check this out. Watch a Shaj just go poof right here. I don't know why that makes me laugh. That's fun. Reinforcements in the new mode. We've got the new two characters. I haven't done a full review of the two characters right here, but it looks like Brood Alpha is going to be required to get Wat Tambor. There's a lot of talk about the 16,500 power requirements for the special nodes inside of the Geonosis territory battles. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the 80 million, and maybe, I don't think this new territory battle, you should even look at it until you're like 140 to 160 million is what their post says. And I'm kind of glad. I didn't want to do both. I thought that was a terrible idea. And it's not like you have to make a decision. You're going to have to wait, especially if they're going to have this 16,500 in separatists. So, you're going to have to go through and look at the separatists and say, well, hey, which one of these characters are actually high enough to put that? I could put mods that'll get some more. But, like right here, Geonosis Soldier probably has to go to 12 just to get to 16,500. And that has to do with the number of abilities. When they have that fourth ability or fifth ability, they can still stay at gear 11 and be above 16,500. See, if you look right there, Super Battle Droid has 4 abilities. So he can get above that 16,500 and still be at gear 11. But the bugs that have only 3 abilities are going to have a harder time. They're going to have to be at gear 12, frankly, where the rest of these guys could be at gear 11 at 7 stars. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Also, in this video, we get to see a picture of the new capital ship right here for General Kenobi. And it's going to be General Kenobi, not Master Kenobi. I guess the original post did say that it was going to be General Kenobi, but I kind of liked the idea of maybe it'll be Master Kenobi. I mean, that's just kind of fun to speculate about new characters coming out. And then that is it. That is the Geonosis Territory Battles trailer. I think it's fantastic. Let's get into the version update. There's a new update in the Google Play Store. And this is for the new Grand Arena Championship, a new version update that's going into the store right now, and it's being pushed out now. There's some Android devices that are no longer going to work, but it's going to be like devices that were back in 2013, like very old devices. If you want to keep playing the game on your computer, there's always the emulator option. I use BlueStacks, Mumu, and Nox. But there's a really easy way of playing. Like right now, this is on an emulator. So if you're worried about your device, maybe set up on an emulator now so you can play that. But I think this is going to affect a very small percentage of the players that are on these older devices. Then Grand Arena Championships is going to be coming very soon, and I highly suggest running the mod optimization program of Grand Ivory. Unfortunately, you have to set probably 3 hours of your life away to do that. I know I'm going to be doing that later today. I'm going to be redoing my mods, and I've allocated 2-3 hours to do that. It's a hassle, but I highly suggest it. I can't believe how much better my squads work. They're modded correctly. I found mods that I didn't have. It just was a big deal. I kind of talk about it here in this video right here. Get ready for Grand Championships. I suggest watching that if you want to get ready for that. We have to talk about this 16,500, but before we do that, Looks like they finally fixed an exploit in Grand Arena and Territory Wars involved save squads that bypassed locking mod inventories and mod loadouts. This bug has been in the game, my understanding, for over a year. So I just want to give a shout out to Darth Microtransaction for making a video about it, because I believe personally that if he hadn't made this video, this probably wouldn't got fixed right away. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying his video comes out, it gets fixed. And I think a lot of people were exploiting this in Grand Arena and Territory Wars. Other thing too, a lot of people are pretty upset about this 16,500. We're going to talk about that and the difficulty. But I know a lot of people are upset about the 16,500, but I think most people should be more upset about this cryotech. I mean, they could give us free characters all day long, and it's still going to be really hard to gear them unless you want to rush it. I mean, this is just an expensive proposition, and I'm wondering if this is going to be a thing going forward. Just every new character is going to require these new cryotech. I'm not a fan, because I believe gear is the only true choke point in this game. I mean, that is where the cost, and it's actually really hard to calculate how much it costs to gear a character. I've asked people, it's like, how much did you spend getting XYZ character to gear 12? Nobody ever gives me a number, but it's probably hundreds of dollars. They can give you a free character and it's still hundreds of dollars. I mean, for example, in Chalk T, I think you almost about to spend $100 just on this cryotech. That's just the way it is, unless you want to wait, and then you could wait like a month. So you have this new shiny toy, you can't use it. It's just kind of the way the game works. And the game is about scarcity and resource management, so that makes sense. And I think people were hoarding gear, hoarding currency, and they didn't know what to do, because people figured out how to play the game correctly, and they were doing that, and so they bypassed that by introducing this new gear. That's the way the game works. Can't fault them for making money, but that's the way it goes. Further down on this list, I just want to talk about the difficulty of this, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to this Geonosis territory battles, and I hope it's going to be impossible, and they said it is going to be nearly impossible, because that Hoth one, when it came out, there were one guild in particular that could beat it like day one. And so I think there's going to be a large amount of guild consolidations. Anytime that there's a new game mode like this, like the Sith Raid, there's this big upheaval with guilds, people moving around and shuffling, and there's going to be people that were on the fence with the game that were just kind of hanging out. I remember this has happened every time new content has come out, like a new raid. People quit the game because they just don't want to learn the new content. It looks overwhelming. Everybody in their guild is moving around. You know, the serious people are moving into bigger guilds, and the more casual people are moving down. It does change things up when they introduce new things, and I actually see a lot of people quit the game when this new type of content comes out. And that's just over my 3 years. I've seen things like that happen. So it looks like you have to make a decision at 80 million, but they're saying if you're at 80 million, you're only going to get 1 or 2 stars. And they later on in the post, they talk about the rewards. Basically, if you're able to get through halfway on this mission, which I think the max is 33 stars. So if you can get about 15 stars, you're going to have way more rewards than getting 100% on the Hoth raid. Now, a lot of people don't get 100% on the Hoth raid. A lot of guilds do. But they're just saying this right here. If you're getting 48 stars on the Hoth raid, you're going to get about 20 to 24 stars. Wow. Interesting. So they're suggesting that if the guild is in the 140 to 160 million range to start to take on the challenge, this makes a lot of sense to me. So, okay. Very controversial right here. Also wanted to mention to you that the special missions on Geonosis have a minimum power requirement of 16,500. It was also mentioned in another post that Watt Tambor is going to require Brood Alpha. And so I don't know what characters, but they have been saying for a minute now, separatists, 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 separatists. Okay, that's why at the beginning of the video I was talking about separatists. Which ones do you have above 16,500? It's something to look at. And it means that most of the characters you're going to have to take up to Gear 11, almost all of Gear 11. And some of the ones, like Geonosis and Shoulder, which only has 3 abilities, is going to have to go to Gear 12. I'm hoping that there's going to be full reworks on Spy, Sunfac, Soldier, and Poggle. We will see. I don't know. Right now, those kits are horrible. And I just want to call out Sunfact right now for being the worst character in the game for Carbantes, even worse than General Kenobi. He is not a fun character to gear up. I do not want to think about it. I have a feeling that I'm going to be forced into it. I do not like this idea. I'm mad. Not really. So, anyways, keep that in mind when you're planning with your guild on what to do. And good luck moving around. But they're very explicit about this. I'm excited about this. I'm glad that it's going to be hard. I'm glad about Grand Arena. I just want to put this out right there. I'm kind of burnt on the game right now. Like, I woke up this morning and I did not want to play the game. Like, it's like, So I'm hoping that this territory battles and Grand Arena Championships gets, gives me something to do, right? Like, I almost have every character at 7 stars, except for a couple of the droids. I mean, it's just like, oh, I want to do something fun. Anyways, I don't think I'm alone in that feeling. This could be good. All right. Well, now it's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person who likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star headless Jango Fett. This is not a scam. I don't even know anymore. All right, guys. Thanks for watching and keep on gaming.